This battle happened in March of 1865. The war between the states was winding down. Tallahassee was the last Confederate capital that hadn't been captured by federal forces east of the Mississippi River. The U.S. military landed troops at the St. Mark's Lighthouse. They came ashore. Their main objective was to try to capture or reduce the fort at the mouth of the St. Mark's River, which effectively had kept the Union Navy out of the river the whole war. Plus, there were blockade runner ships coming into the river that they would have liked to have stopped. And collaterally, if they had been unopposed in this area, probably, in my opinion, they would have at some point made an attempt on Tallahassee.
The United States military was pretty much in the process of kind of locking down the Civil War. They pull in this force of U.S. soldiers from various places, including a couple of African-American regiments, United States colored troops. They land them down at St. Mark's, and they're moving up the river, and so this then alerts Confederate forces in the Tallahassee area, which by this point of the war, they're running kind of short on material, manpower to try to stop this. They've got some old men, some young boys, what we would call sort of high school age. They've got a few guys that are wounded and are not well enough to go back to the main line of fighting up in Virginia and the Carolinas. And so whatever they can find in the area, they begin to send down here by train. They have to march over a distance to here. The Confederates have one advantage, and that's they know pretty much where the Federal forces are going to have to cross the river, which is here at the Natural Bridge.
This battle happened when the troops were unable to cross further downstream, so the next marching point where they could get across the river without a pontoon bridge or any assistance was here. The local Confederate authorities knew that and rushed troops to this choke point. The Southern troops won the foot race and got here during the night, set up, so the next morning when the Federals got here, the battle occurred when they were unable to cross.
They had won a lot of big battles by this point of the war. They've got kind of Robert E. Lee's army, pinned in Virginia. They've got Joe Johnston's army in the Carolinas, sort of being pushed back into a pretty manageable spot. And so this mission for the United States Army was in part kind of a political thing. They're trying to capture Tallahassee. This was the only Confederate capital east of the Mississippi that U.S. forces hadn't forcibly occupied. The assumption was, well, Union forces are going to come in and they're going to destroy us, that they're going to burn houses, they're going to pillage, they're going to loot. This kind of thing had happened in various cities in the South, and so they're extremely worried. To the Union soldiers, I don't know that it quite meant maybe as much, because they knew they were trying to capture Tallahassee, and they probably are thinking, well, this will be one of the things to help push the South out of the war.
No one knew that the war would actually end in just 2 or 3 short months and that the Confederates would be defeated that quickly. But to the Floridians at the time, it was a morale raiser, and it kept the federal government from taking this fort below us here on the St. Mark's River and occupying it, which would have ultimately probably led to the capture of Tallahassee.
This was a game changer in American history. Either we're going to be, America of one type or America of another type. And battles like this as part of the whole really are what make the difference between us being, the America that we didn't wind up being and the one that we are now.
History is not something old and dusty. They were living, breathing people with relatives, with parents, with spouses, and brothers and sisters, just like we are. And at the end of the day, there were many soldiers here who gave their life trying to contest this, and we should remember their sacrifice and their devotion.
I'm gonna go backwards.
This is no ordinary summer camp for kids.
Get ready! Hop!
They've joined the circus.
I came here because I've wanted to join the circus since I was like 3.
It's a part of Florida State's Flying High Circus Camp in Tallahassee.
It is tiring. I've had a lot of the parents tell me, my kids fell asleep on the way home, or they're sleeping so well at night and they're wiped out.
Everything from ground acrobatics to juggling is taught. But the most popular, hands down, is the flying trapeze.
I like the trapeze because it's just a rush. It's really fun.
The camp is for kids 7 to 17, but today they gave an exception.
This is your safety belts. Keep you alive up there?
Yes, with my harness on, I was going up.
So is this easy up here or hard?
It's easy.
No sweat, I was told, after a crash course in Trapeze 101.
You'll tuck your knees to your chest and let go at the same time, and just the swing and those kicks will automatically make you rotate and flip into the net.
I don't know if I've got that all. This is how high?
To the freeboard, it's like 25 feet.
Good times.
I climbed up 25 feet under some gray skies.
Don't look down, right?
This, I was told,
So I'm trying to put a leg up over.
was one of the easiest skills to learn, a knee hand.
Do most people get this on the first time?
Almost everybody.
Oh, shoot.
But I knew I was in trouble.
Oh, my God.
Someone with little to no flexibility like myself would have problems. And after a couple of swings, it was an epic fail. I just couldn't get my knee above the bar. Thankfully, a safety net provided a smooth landing.
You're clapping for me. I didn't do it right.
To prove that I have no coordination or that anyone can do it,
How old are you? 9?
they sent up 9-year-old Mary Musselwhite, who naturally
Kick your legs forwards, backwards, forwards, let go.
Oh, okay.
killed on the trapeze.
Okay.
With a few pointers and a few raindrops, I tried again.
I'm not flexible, I think.
So close, but yet again, no success for this reporter. But while my big dreams of joining the big top may be over, for these kids, joining the circus is a reality, a summertime experience they won't soon forget. In Tallahassee, Jerry Hume, ABC 27 HD.
Obviously, we're training for the worst possible scenario that could happen to our children, and that would be a bus crash. The first thing they're going to do is make sure that that bus is safe and there's no further hazards, and then we're going to begin the rescue operation. And you'll notice that fire has been working on rescuing them from the bus. EMS has been triaging them, preparing them for transport to the medical facility.
Ran up here.
The sheriff's office is not only containing this scene, but scenes away from here for parents who will be coming, staging in that area. And we provide people and information for the parents so that they can know what's going on with their child. One of the most important parts about this, and we've done a lot of things right here, but you not only want to identify the things that you do right and correct, you want to identify the things that you can improve on to make our services better to our children. And that's exactly the purpose of this scenario.